Get out of town. Have mercy. Your brother from the gutter is back behind the wood. It's the open bar. Coming to you here on, what is today's date? It happens to be February 28th, the last day of the month. What do they say? March comes in like a lion and leaves like a lamb. Let's fucking hope so. Because I am tired of this shit-ass weather. It's been fairly decent the last couple of days. I guess it's going to turn cold over the weekend, but then it's going to heat up again next week. I just want this gack to melt, huh? Well, some sad news today. They found, or late last night, they found Gene Hackman, Oscar-winning actor, one of the great actors in film history. One of the last of the Mohicans. I mean, one of the legendary people still left on the planet that, as far as actors go, dead in his house, in the hallway of his home. He was laying on the floor with a cane, was nearby him, and his glasses. Now, his wife, who was 65, so he, Gene, he liked them young. She was found in the bathroom, and a heater was knocked over, a space heater. There were pills all over the countertop. So what they think is that she fell, maybe hit her head on the heater. Well, they don't know this. I'm saying this is what I think happened, okay? That appears to be some accident happened there. And he probably got up, maybe to see what happened, heard the commotion, and fell down and was not able to get up. Maybe he broke his hip or something, and the poor bastard just laid there. So, yeah, pretty sad. Of course, they're going to do autopsies, and we'll find out eventually, what happened. And I believe one of the dogs died as well. So just a sad story. It's kind of a sad way to go. But unfortunately, we don't get to pick how we go out, do we? But Gene Hackman, I was just reading, he didn't get his first real big role. And it was only a small role until he was 35 in the Bonnie and Clyde movie with Warren Beatty, Faye Dunaway. He played Buck Barrow, Clyde's brother, hayseed brother, who just got out of jail, and he joins up with them. And Bonnie and Clyde, a great movie. Arthur Penn directed it, the first movie to ever show graphic violence, 1967. Of course, who could forget the end of Bonnie and Clyde? But if you've never seen it, the original, not that stupid remake they did a few years ago, check it out. Awesome movie. Of course, he won the Oscar for Popeye Doyle as well in French Connection, which was, I guess, his first, it was the first time he was nominated for Best Actor. That was directed by William Friedkin. And they said the one scene where he slapped the guy around, they said he had to do it 35 times because he was trying to get, William Friedkin said in an interview years later, he was trying to get the anger out of Gene that he knew he had in him, but he was, for some reason, keeping it under wraps. Ran away, joined the Marines when he was 16. His mother was an alkie, dysfunctional family. His father was a creep, beat the hell out of him, everybody. What a body of work. You got Young Frankenstein, Superman, played Lex Luthor in that. Mississippi Burning, I think he was nominated for an Oscar for that as well. Poseidon Adventure, The Royal Tannenbaums, one of his later movies. Hoosiers, of course, when he was a basketball coach. The Conversation, when he was a wiretapper. I think that was the Francis Ford Coppola flick. One of his later great movies, I thought, was directed by Tony Scott, Crimson Tide, with Denzel Washington, and I believe James Gandolfini was in that as well. I freaking love submarine movies. So, yeah, too bad about Gene Hackman. He will be missed, even though he retired. He's been retired for quite some time, I think, since the early 2000s. Anywho, what else is going on? Football news. The Bills have extended the contract of one of our best receivers, Shakir. Yeah, that's right. He is now under contract for the next 4 or 5 years. They had to extend him. I mean, the guy is awesome. Led the league, was either first and second in the league last year with yards after catch. Very shifty once he catches the ball. So what they're going to do about some of these other people, who the fuck knows? But we've got free agency coming up here in a couple weeks, and it'll be interesting to see if the Bills go out and maybe get a pass rusher. If it's not one of the, big ones, maybe somebody that's a little cheaper that they could get. Like Trey Hendrickson is a possibility from the Cincinnati Bengals. Khalil Mack with the Chargers. I don't know if he's just playing on a one-year deal or what, but maybe they can get somebody like that. I mean, if they're going to get Myles Garrett or the dude from the Raiders, I mean, you'd have to give up the whole everything. So we'll see what shakes out here next week. I think it's March 7th. I got to check the dates on that. Alexa, when is the NFL free agency? Let's see if this stupid Alexa knows. When does NFL free agency start?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Yeah, what good are you, Alexa? What good are you? And now it's time for another barn-burning episode of stupid shit Donald Trump has done this week. And hey, let's start with that asshead Elon Musk, for shit's sake. I mean, this Nazi wannabe, he sends a memo out to federal workers, get this, asking them to name 5 things they accomplished last week or they're fired. Name 5 things you did last week or you're fired. I would have responded back, I banged your sister. That's what I did last week, Elon. I took a dump on your front lawn, okay? Now you got a federal judge in California that has put the brakes, kibosh on this thing. And there's going to be a hearing, I guess, set up. So, I mean, it's just a real shit show. In the last Slickcast, we talked about how they accidentally fired people in the energy department that were in charge of keeping the nuclear weapons safe. They fired scientists that were working on the bird flu. I mean, it's chaotic. And recently I heard, like in Illinois, they shit-canned a bunch of food inspectors, and there was something happened at one of the meat processing plants there, and they had to shut the plant down because they didn't have any inspectors to inspect the meat because they had fired all the inspectors. So, I mean, it's just crazy. But you know what? They're not cutting any of the $18 billion that Elon Musk gets in federal contracts. They're not, amazingly enough, they're not cutting any of that. And we know that Elon Musk companies were under investigation by 5 inspectors general when the Trump administration fired them and put Elon in charge. So isn't it nice to fire the people that are investigating you, or even better yet, just delete their departments entirely, huh? Yeah. That's how we roll. And, of course, you've got our major asshead in chief, the great orange one, our fearless leader, calling our ally, Zelensky, president of Ukraine. He calls him a dictator and blames him for starting the war, which is total bullshit. We all know that Russia, anybody with half a fucking brain, knows that Russia invaded Ukraine. Twice they did it. And he's basically repeating Putin's talking points. And I don't know if you saw the press conference a couple days ago. A reporter asked Trump if he thought Putin was a dictator. And, of course, he spined out answering it because we all know that Vladimir has the pee-pee tape.
They're eating the dog.
Yeah, he's also shaking him down for minerals, for some of the Ukraine's minerals, for money that we gave him. It's like... it's like the mob, hey, we did you a favor, now you owe us. It's like we're the bad guys now. We're like a gangster government now is what we are. We're not the good guys anymore. We side, and then to top things off, we side with Russia, North Korea in a UN resolution against condemning Russia's aggression in Ukraine. That's how much Putin has got Trump by the short hairs. He is Putin's bitch. There's no question about that. So Zelensky coming to town today. We'll see what happens. The prime minister from the UK was in today, and Trump was all happy because he was kissing his ass. He gave him a letter from the king inviting him over. And, that's the thing with Donald. Anybody knows if you compliment him. You think Putin doesn't know that? I mean, if you compliment him, then, he's easy to con. So you just got to appeal to his ego. He's a narcissistic lunatic. So we'll see what happens with Zelensky. But I have my doubts. I think Russia's going to get everything they want because Trump has no balls when it comes to Russia. And I think he's going to, in the end, he's going to fuck Ukraine and Zelensky, or try to. So we'll see what gives.
They're eating the dog.
In other news, this is RFK Jr. That's right. He was asked to comment about it was a girl in Texas, a little kid that died of measles there. And, of course, the kid was not vaccinated because, it's Texas. Them uppity scientists and their fancy vaccines. Yeah, so RFK is saying it's nothing out of the usual. Of course, he's now, unfortunately, head of the Health and Human Services. He's saying that it's not unusual. And he also appeared to misstate a number of facts. RFK misstate facts? Yes, including a claim that most who had been hospitalized were there only for quarantine. Hospital spokesman said, listen, we don't put people in here for quarantine. So that's the problem with some of these people. A lot of these people that Trump put in is that they live in an alternate reality. They do not live in a factual reality. You got Kash Patel, who just hired Dan Bongino. Is that his fucking name? I don't watch Fox News. He's another Fox News guy to run the FBI, be the assistant deputy secretary, which I guess is the more important than being the actual head of the FBI, like Kash Patel. This guy is responsible, Dan Bongino, for the day-to-day operations of the FBI. He is another one who has spewed conspiracy theories about the FBI, and now he's in charge of the day-to-day operations. Has no FBI experience whatsoever, was a Secret Service man, I guess, for a short time, and his other claim to fame is he's a Fox News guy. So we have two people, Kash Patel, another one who has spewed conspiracy theories about the FBI, actually was paid $25,000. You can't make this up, by a Russian propaganda organization to write a negative article about the FBI, which he's now in charge of. So this is what they do. They put Fox is in charge of the hen house. So now you've got two complete assholes that know nothing about the FBI in charge of the FBI. I mean, if you work there, you got to be like, what the fuck? I would just be like, yes, I believe, January 6th was a setup. I believe Donald Trump is the greatest. And I would just, wink to my fellow workers and go, let's just go to work, man. Just, because what else can you do? If you speak the truth, they're going to get rid of you. So I implore people out there in the intelligence agency to just go along with the game. Just go along with it, and then when you need to really stand up, then you stand up. We need people like that in these departments because they're trying to obviously whitewash. They're trying to get rid of everybody. Basically, this is scary, though, for many reasons, because if you're an enemy of the United States, you look at the people we've put in charge of these important organizations. Now, we're not talking about being ambassador to Monte Carlo. We're talking about Secretary of Defense, head of the FBI. I mean, we could get hit by a terrorist attack. We got fucking people that don't know what they're doing leading these organizations. It's really scary. But, hey, this is what people wanted. This is what you got. And all these federal workers getting laid off, getting screwed over by Trump, many of them veterans in the VA. People are getting laid off from the VA. You got air traffic controllers getting laid off with all the plane mishaps we've had lately. Food inspectors, cancer research stopped. Food for starving people stopped. People's Medicaid, now they're going to cut. Oh, we're not going to touch Medicare, Medicare, Social Security, or Medicaid. Isn't that what Trump told what's his name on Fox News last week? Sean Hannity, that's what he told him. And now they just passed a resolution that they're going to cut, I think it's $880 billion from Medicaid. So, yeah, you're getting it up the ass is what you're doing. You people that voted for Trump. I'll tell you, with idiots like these running the country, no wonder I can't stop drinking. No wonder I can't sleep at night. Listen, that's all I got for you right now. Listen, you can catch me on any of the streaming. I advise you to please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button and tell your friends where I'm at. You can stream the Slick One on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, iHeart, Podchaser, and of course we originate out of Podbean. And if that doesn't work for you, just go to slicktom.com and you will be directed to all of the episodes right there from Podbean. And we haven't mentioned Julia from Lakewood Studios in a while. If you need any type of website stuff done or graphics, that kind of stuff, great work done by Julia at Lakewood Studios. Check her out. All right, until next time, remain calm, circle the wagons. Free agency is coming. Live fast, die old, weed, whiskey, and Warren Zevon.
Hail to the king, baby.